I've been thinking about how disconnected we have become as a society. From each other, from our history, our sense of community, even from our own bodies. I know it's been on a lot of people's minds lately, especially since 2020, but loneliness was a pandemic long before then. I know things come and go in waves, but the boom of technology was so rapid and unprecedented that we didn't know how to cope. And even long before there was social media and TV streaming services keeping us numb and distracted and searching for connection in all the wrong places, we were being systemically isolated from our communities and groomed into more profitable type of people who would be loyal to corporations in order to survive instead of relying on each other to survive. What I'm saying is, it's not your fault. It's not any of our individual faults. But now it is our responsibility if we're going to change any of it. Over just a few generations, we swapped home-cooked meals for fast food, swapped hiring local artists for cheap, fast AI art, phone calls for texts, meeting in public for dating apps, even things like attending uni for taking classes online. It seems like we've traded community for convenience. And yes, I get it. Most of these things make our lives significantly easier in a lot of ways, which is how they sell them to us in the first place, right? If it wasn't easier, we wouldn't have gone this far to begin with. But let's just promise to each other that we will not rely on them so much that we forget how to connect with real people in real life. Face to face, skin to skin, story to story. There is something magical and important and human in that exchange that we can't get through a phone or from ChatGPT or in isolation. I feel this loss of that birthright kind of community deep in my bones. Like some part of me was never formed because we don't gather like we should. We don't carry on traditions like our ancestors did. We don't have elders to share their stories and wisdom and skills. I've always kind of felt like something was missing, especially after leaving organized religion when I was 17, 18 years old. And then even more so when I was becoming a mom and I looked around and all I really had was my nuclear family, which are great. Don't get me wrong. They have been the most supportive and loving and generous grandparents, aunties, and uncles that a girl could ask for. But it's not a village. And so ever since then, I have made it my mission to create that village, and it's been hard work and challenging because everybody has their own lives, plus work, plus their own self-work, plus their own nuclear families, and nobody seems to really have the time or the means to live in the village anymore. And I don't have all the answers, and I'm certainly not the best at community building. Hello, anxiety. But I am making it my mission and my priority to try and to keep putting myself out there even when it is awkward and I do feel anxious about it and I do meet people who I don't click with or who cause emotional harm of some kind. I keep trying, and I think it's so important to keep trying because if we don't, we lose humanity. And I'm not talking about humans going extinct. I'm talking about the feeling and the togetherness that creates humanity. I want this so badly for myself and for the world as a whole, and for my daughter. I want her to be raised around people who love her like family, even if they're not blood. And I want her to grow up tending to other people's children and hearing stories from elders who don't have the same ancestry or family history or just completely different perspectives, I guess, in all walks of life, and to commune with nature and with existence as a whole. I really feel like humans are just part of one thing. Like, we are all different expressions of the universe, and so is every tree and river and snail and fox that you will ever see. We're all interconnected, and the more that we go on trying to be as individualistic as possible, the further we're going to feel from ourselves. Yes, it's good to have alone time, and yes, I love alone time. I feel like it is very necessary to go within yourself and examine your own beliefs and personal history and all the individual experiences that you have gathered over a lifetime, and process that how you will, do the things that bring you joy specifically. But we just can't feel like a whole, complete, happy being without the interconnectedness of others. I'm not saying you can't be happy if you spend most of your days alone, or if you're, single forever. That has nothing to do with it. You can be, you can live alone in the mountains for most of your days and still cherish that humanity.
I love everybody because I love you. When you stood up, walked away barefoot, and the grass where you lay left a bed in your shape. I looked over it and I ate. I love everybody because I love you. I don't need the city.
In a world that seems determined to tear people apart and separate us on every level and pit us against each other, I just think it's vital that we find ways to love people and connect with people and talk to strangers even if you will never see them again. Go to the regular grocery line with a human versus a self-checkout. Things that are so simple and yet could have a profound impact on our well-being and our society at large. Because even if it feels way easier to order that DoorDash, have a front door delivery and never see another human than it does to, invite your friends and family to a home cooked meal, or even order that DoorDash and invite friends over, or binge that DP show but have a friend on FaceTime binging with you. Like, there's so many ways that we can change the script a little bit that will connect us a lot. What matters now is how we move forward. This society that we want to see is what we need to be acting on. Not how it is, not how it's always been, not what feels most comfortable and easy, but what you want to see and what you want to feel in the world. It's up to you, it's up to me, and it's up to all of us to try to come out of our, comfortable little bubbles a little bit and move through that anxiety instead of letting that decide for you what you're gonna do and what your life is gonna look like, and therefore what the whole entire world is going to look like.